Another bargain. So this one's on DC still. It's a new acquisition. It's another 108, same as the last one I had. I think this is an earlier variant. It's DC only. It's not fitted with an 8-pin decoder socket as far as I'm aware from looking inside it. It does have the interior lights and running lights as you just seen in that last shot, if it was quick enough. I had it going full pelt so that I had maximum illumination of the bulbs inside, or the LEDs. So it's basically the same, it's just that the other one obviously has provision for an 8-pin decoder and head code lights, where this one doesn't. They're blanked off. So whether that is an intentional thing or just a lack of detail on the earlier variant. And I just need to make some little destination stickers up. I'm not going to worry about cutting in and illuminating that, because if it's the same as the previous one, all the bulkhead is glued in and part of the fixing to hold the chassis in place. So, but my idea, it came cheap because there's a couple of bits of detail need repairing. Other than that, now I've just literally run it, other than being a little bit noisy, but then it was running at full whack. It's got a detail pipe broken, which obviously can be glued, and there's a buffer missing. Now I think this was about £54, which is still okay, because I think some of the Hornby ones have been making 70 plus, and the old Lima that people are converting to DCC, or they're just buying them as an alternative to the cheaper sound fitted Bachmann ones, which you need to remortgage your kidneys for. So it came up and I weren't going to bid for it, and I thought, oh, maybe I can just, you know, I can pinch the bodies, swap out maybe, and there might be a little bit of subtle differences, I don't know. But my idea is not necessarily to convert this one to DCC, but to have it run on a separate section of track, on a loop off scene somewhere, and it will arrive at a platform. People can obviously embark or disembark and go on their journeys fictitiously, and I will build myself a little DC shuttle module, so it will just basically be autonomous, you know, turn it on, off it trundles, goes around a reversing loop and comes back. I can't remember whether the build instructions I've got has a delay function on it, so it can go away for a couple of minutes, be static. Whether you can vary the duration time, it stops at another fictitious location and then comes back again. Obviously this is all very much pie in the sky, you know, wait until we get something built, but that's my idea for it, versus actually going in inside and hardwiring 2 DCC chips in it. I just sold a coach, so now I need a box to send it in. So what happens to all this stuff I keep buying? Well, it ends up in these boxes here. For now, once I check it over and play with it or not, and it goes in a box ready for the day it will go in a layout room. Still debating what to do with that little thing. I've still got this as well, which was my comp win from Rails of Sheffield. I would have won with 3 coaches because the new one's only got 2. Another bit of Hornby cost cutting even. Must have been Argos. Bits and pieces in here, all the old locos, the old DC stuff, some trailers, wagons, other boxes full of coaches and various wagons, my airbrush, all my electronic stuff is in there. I've got breadboards, development kits, some unfinished built models there that have got to be titivated. And that one's full of capacitors, resistors and everything else. And we've got a box full of PGAs and a box full of MGRs. And hidden up here in many boxes is all the track that will one day be in a room, hopefully. Bargain I picked up this week, which isn't strictly railway related, but more the video or videography side of it. I needed some light on the right hand side of my table. On the left hand side I've got this quite intense bulb that I picked up on AliExpress on a cheapy 20-watt thing with the little folding wings. But when I have that on, because it's LED light, everything on this side tends to be in shade. So I've got these little ring lights. I've bought this big ring light which does all sorts of weird and wonderful things. It does warm white and daylight white or bright, and then it's got all this crap on it, psychedelic stuff. But as you can see, it is threaded, so it will sit on a camera tripod or mount. I've got it on my auto tracking webcam on my table mount, but there's a fitting on the top as well. Now the fitting here, now it was only $7.99. I mean, I've been looking at them on Facebook second hand and they want a tenner. Saw this one and I thought, oh, I'll give it a go, because the other one is a bit larger and about £20, and I didn't want to spend that. So it comes with this sort of tripod that's only got one position, but it is made of metal, so it's not bad for the money. You get a swivel camera mount, which I've got on the bottom there anyway. That's my own one. So I've gained another one. They'll fit onto your tripod as well. They're on a ball joint, so you can pretty much put them in any position. And then you've got this gooseneck type thing with the spring-loaded thing, which has got a reasonable amount of tension. I mean, I use phones with the metal armoured cases, so generally these things won't work because the phone case is a lot larger, but it will take the weight and size of my Samsung phone. And again, you just undo this. It's a bit plasticky, but $7.99. But that gives you a little bit of movement. And I thought for the money, £8. These are $1.99, $2.99, even from China. Alright, I'll probably never use this, but I think, you know, those accessories would cost you that without the light. The light needs, I think, a 500 milliamp USB power supply. It's got various modes, brightness and things that probably won't need all the psychedelic stuff, but yeah, it's proved quite useful so far. Not as bright as I would have liked, but it's adequate. That's I thought, reasonable little buy. They're available in Home Bargains. I have seen a similar one in B&M's, but I don't know whether it's around the same money or more. I mean, I've got one of these Clark type things, which is okay just for a bit of light, but it's obviously mainly for working on the table area, which has got the old models that I salvaged, and some I've got to crack on with. I've purchased another wodge of Slater's Plasticard. I think I need shares in their company now. But I've been through all these and they're all flexible. They don't shatter like the first one I had from old stock from some shop. But yeah, we've got a collection there for the various things, as I said before, like the brick walling, stone wall effect. I've even got the rivet sheet. I don't know whether they've marked up the tread plate sheet wrong, because it still looks a bit larger scale for me. Obviously the camera's not going to pick it up, but it is what it is. I've got it. And the rivet one, I saw that and thought it was a Slater's one again. I'm probably not going to pick up. Much of the definition on the camera of the rivet detail. There is strips in it and then sections and panels, so Obviously you'd have to cut a little square out to give you the rivet detail.